Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And this is a really interesting read. Forbes says that The Mandalorian is actually being beaten by The Witcher.
But here's the thing, though. The Mandalorian was out for a while before The Witcher came out.
Yeah, but they're saying in general, The Witcher seems to be attracting a bigger audience. Well, that's natural because it's on Netflix.
Which Netflix has like 150 million subs as opposed to the 25
alleged 25
million they have at Disney.
But this is really interesting to see this, though, and this kind of this is coming from Forbes. This is Paul Tassi.
I like him. I do.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty smart guy. He's the I guess the video game author over there, but he's basically like, looking at the difference between The Mandalorian and the chatter online about it when you do a show weekly versus when you just drop it in a big chunk. And and I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about how The Witcher, now that the Netflix show is a big hit, we're seeing a huge spike in book sales and game sales. In fact, the books are selling out all over the place, and they haven't sold like that in like 25 years. All right, so he decided he was going to take a look at the difference between The Mandalorian and The Witcher and demonstrate how many people are interested in two of the biggest shows and what that might look like with the different strategies of two very popular shows released at the same time. He looked at Google Trends search in the chart above, and you can see that The Witcher is actually in the blue, I believe. That's one for the US, and the red line you might guess is The Mandalorian, while the blue is The Witcher. The difference between the two strategies is pretty clear. The Mandalorian has spikes Fridays when it's released. Yep.
The Witcher was dropped at once.
Yep, and had a big jump for the grand finale. The Witcher seems to be the more popular program overall, with a massive surge on its initial weekend. Yeah, look at that. That is Henry Cavill right there.
Because right here, this skip here would be the Friday of the finale, because this came out the 20th.
Yeah.
So this would have been probably the bump for the finale of The Mandalorian, which ended the 28th. So that's, yeah. I mean, even at the spikes, that they're not comparable or comparable.
No, not at all. They said even its trail off since its debut on December 20th still puts it above The Mandalorian on its best day. The global chart is even more of a pronounced difference. So is The Witcher...
That's the global chart, okay.
Yeah, it's the global chart. So is The Witcher more popular than The Mandalorian? Yes and no. So is The Witcher more popular than The Mandalorian? He says yes and no. He says a lot of the difference has to do with which series is loved more and more about availability. And we talked about this.
Yeah, it's availability. They have 160 million. Yeah, Netflix has 6 times the subscribers, 5 times the subscribers what the Disney Plus has.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot more people who have access to it, and Disney Plus has never worked globally yet anyway.
Yeah, and that's being kind, because I think Disney is sort of massaging those numbers.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We're never get a straight answer though, because we know that they have all those free Verizon subscriptions and stuff. We're never going to be told what percentage that is.
This is a really interesting comparison. Now, I personally think it's apples and oranges, but it's really interesting though too, because The Witcher is a much more adult show than The Mandalorian. So for it to have more interest, again, this kind of goes back to why it was so amazing that The Joker did as well as it did, because it was an R-rated movie and it broke $1 billion on a $50 million budget. The Witcher is a rated M show or MA show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because boobies.
Yeah.
So until next season, when Disney's going to catch on and Baby Yoda is going to take that thing off, and we're going to see his
boobies,
yaddles. Yeah. His yaddles.
I don't think that's gonna.
I hope not. He is 50. It's not like he's underage.
I don't think that's gonna sell anything.
I don't know. Disney, they could be like, yeah, Baby Yoda's yaddle cupcakes. Who knows?
They're you are right. They're apples and oranges, in the regard that one is definitely for mature audiences and one is not.
Yeah, but they're talking about the Rotten Tomato scores. Of course, The Witcher got pummeled. Pummeled at first. We had critics out there that didn't even watch the show. Entertainment Weekly didn't even watch the show, and they gave it a failing score.
Well, they did watch the show, but watch 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah, but they graded the whole season an F, and they didn't watch the whole season. I'm going to get paid.
It does get better after episode 4. Episode 5 on, I think, got much better on The Witcher. It's starting to make more sense.
Well, yeah, once you start to see that there's a time jump there, which I guess they're going to do away with in the next season.
Good, because it's confusing.
Yeah, but it's really interesting, because I didn't think that The Witcher was as popular as it was. But in short, it seems as if The Mandalorian is scored higher by critics and audiences, but The Witcher is more widely watched. Again, a lot of that comes down to more people having Netflix too. It's honestly impressive. The Mandalorian is as popular as it is debuting on a brand new service that's much smaller number of people have subscribed to.
Yeah.
Legally.
Yeah.
A lot of people are telling us that they're watching The Mandalorian. They're just not paying Disney to watch it. I'm not advocating that. I am interested to see what happens for season 2 of both shows. Yeah, me too. Me too. Now, the interesting thing about The Witcher, though, is, and we saw this with The Walking Dead too, where we had a popular television adaptation of an older property that caused the books to sell, retroactively sell better. In fact, The Witcher has sold out physical copies of the books on Amazon and in stores.
Wow.
So The Witcher was a pretty obscure, I mean, it wasn't...
So is it out of print then? Is that what happened?
I don't know. I think it's, I don't know. I don't think they expected it to do as well. So this is a companion to the story I wrote the other day. So it caused 2 of the original books to land on the New York Times bestseller charts. We talked about that before. But past that, the demand for the books is so high.
There is a publisher, okay.
Yeah, the publisher can't seem to keep up.
So they're not out of print.
No, because this is a new printing. This has the new cover on. Heading over to Amazon, The Last Wish, Blood of Elves, and Sword of Destiny are 1, 3, and 12 most sold books right now on all of Amazon. But if you want a physical copy, good luck. They're sold out. They were sold out, at least, when was this written? This was written a couple of days ago. So you'll have to go see if they're still sold out. Anecdotally, since they published the first piece, they heard a lot about people talking about how their local bookstores, Barnes & Noble, or smaller chains have been missing these books as well. So that's really interesting that the show is so popular that retroactively the books are selling out all over the place.
So they're saying, well, maybe people just don't like it as much as The Mandalorian. Well, they like it enough they're going out and buying all the books. So, and they're selling out of books all over the place. To me, that says more about the popularity of it than anything, honestly.
Yeah, and they said, the closest comparison people have is Game of Thrones, because that happened with Game of Thrones too, where the show was very popular and then people went and bought the books. Happened with Harry Potter, but Harry Potter, the movies and the books were kind of concurrent, so it was like, kind of a thing here. But people went back and bought the Game of Thrones, Martin's books after the show came out. And
well, the video games are selling a lot more too.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up. The Witcher 3 is on track to sell more in 2019 than it did last year, and actually I think it's past it. This was that
was a while ago.
Yeah, so let me go out and see. Yeah, I saw this out on Reddit the other day that the game actually has more players now than it did when it came out in 2015. More people are buying the games now, and a lot of people were buying the game in anticipation of the show. So it's actually helping, just everything Witcher. And a lot of people had never heard of The Witcher until the show came out. So this is going to be really interesting to see what happens, to the franchise going forward. But, they don't have all the merch like they do with Baby Yoda for The Witcher.
Well, they didn't have the merch of the Baby Yoda out either at first, remember? They kind of slapped some t-shirts up, and they still don't. A lot of it's just, if it's not t-shirts or things like that, it's pre-ordered plushies and toys that aren't out for a couple months yet.
Yeah, well, I think we'll probably get a bunch of Witcher pop vinyls because always happens.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Witcher pop vinyls.
I don't think Witcher really lends itself well to toys like the Yennefer Booby toy or
Yennefer Booby. That'll be the San Diego Yennefer with her tatas.
Or there's like a doll where you have to try to keep the gin in. The
gin or the uterus, which.
Well, she was trying to keep that inside of her too. Yeah. You have to keep the uterus came out. There's Yennefer with the removable uterus.
With the removable
that
uterus.
You can crunch up into paint her.
Oh my god, that could be a craft set for kids. Yennefer doll with removable uterus, and you can paint your own crafts.
That's
Make
right.
henna tattoos with Yennefer's uterus.
So you can catch your own genies and
catch your own genies
and get your wishes. I get to see like all kinds of play sets from this. The Storm in the Castle play set, the Jump into Your Death play set, the Stabby play set.
Stabby? Is that what you're calling? Stabby? I don't know. I think it's really interesting though. It does look like The Witcher is actually more popular than The Mandalorian right now.
But
more popular than Star Wars.
But to be fair, there's a lot of people who can watch The Witcher than The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So far.
It'll
be interesting to see how these track as the year goes on.
It'll be interesting to see which one gets ruined first.
Yeah, well, that's a valid point also.
Yeah. So I think after Game of Thrones season 8, everybody's like, I don't want to get too invested in this show because the other shoe is going to drop.
Yeah, and that would really suck. 8 seasons. I mean, 7 seasons were fine, and the last season, why would you ever think it was going to just go?
Hurry up and get it done so we can go do Star Wars, and whoops, we're not doing that either.
I was just going to say, 6 movies. Why the heck would you ever think it was going to go? Well, prequels, but still.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap this one up.
Yeah.
Please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.